Okay, and for our next story is from the same subreddit. Am I the butthole? Am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop trying to make my racist parents like him?
Racist?
Racist, yeah. Okay. This is by Reddit user AwarePrimary1072. Very original. Okay. I, female 24, have a partner, husband 26, male. For story's sake, we'll call him Alex. Alex and I have been together for 4 years and married for 1. We are an interracial relationship. I'm white and Alex is Asian. Alex's family were accepting for our relationship, and his family grew to like me over time as they got to know me. My family, especially my parents, are unfortunately incredibly racist. They don't like Alex in the slightest. They don't say anything overtly aggressive to his face, but will not be particularly kind or welcoming to him. When he isn't around, they hound me, telling me I should marry my own race. Ooh. It's been difficult, and quite frankly, I want to go and see no contact with my parents. Alex thinks this is not a good idea, as it will ruin any chance of my parents changing their minds, and that I might regret it in the future. Sweet. Alex, being the sweetheart he is, keeps making efforts to try to get my parents to like him, even more so since we got married, but it always ends in disappointment. Recently, it was my dad's birthday, and he didn't have anything planned, and Alex offered for him and my mom to come over for dinner. They accepted, but they never turned up. And when I called them, they said they were at my sister's place. She lives around a 5-hour drive away for the weekend, and they forgot, quote unquote. Alex tried to hide it, but I could tell he was upset. I told him that it's not through any fault of his own, but my parents will never like him, and he should save his time and energy for something else, like spending time with his own parents. He got mad and said that I was being insensitive and that what I said was unhelpful and unnecessary. He didn't say anything else, and we didn't argue. But the next thing I knew, he was at the door and saying he was going to stay with a friend for a couple of nights. He still hasn't come back and won't respond to my text. Was I wrong for saying this? Am I just being oblivious?
Damn, this is complicated. I wonder if he's back.
His bag?
Back.
Oh, he's back. Oh.
Yeah, I hope he's back.
Let's see, are there any updates? No updates for now. But I'm trying to think of why he's upset with the wife being insensitive. I mean,
I don't think he's upset with the wife, but he upset with the situation.
Yeah.
And he's just trying, you know. And I don't think that he wants to give up and just accept that they don't like him. I think that he wants to believe that he can change, and it's quite a concerned topic, racist. And I think that in this, I think being Asian, maybe you would, I don't like it.
I think
it's very hard to comment on this. Wait, you go first and then I'll try.
I don't want to assume American because they said white. But if they are American, maybe the daughter is kind of like I said earlier, like we're our own unit, we're our own family now. So if my parents don't like you, that's whatever. But I love you. We're together.
Very
what's the big deal? Like I think a lot of
some culture. It's
like I don't. Maybe I only see my parents on major holidays, stuff like that, and call them up once in a while. And I think in Asian cultures where maybe Alex is from, the relationship with the parents is very important, and the relationship with your partner's parents is also important, and so maybe he feels like maybe he's not good enough, or like self-doubt for him. So
I don't think you have to be best friend with the in-law, but you should be able to have dinner and meet once a while, and in this case that he already planned the dinner, maybe he's cooking, or his intention, he planned for them to like have a nice meal together, but they just forgot.
Yeah. The wife, the wife was just like, what did she say? She said,
But I think the wife just want to set an expectations for him, that's so he doesn't have to feel disappointed no more. So I think that's why she want him to just accept it and then we just move on.
I think the wife just being blunt and being like, my parents are never going to like you. I think that was hard for him to hear.
Did she say that, like, upfront? Like,
she said, I told him that it's in no fault, any fault, through any fault of his own, but my parents will never like him and he should save his time and energy for something else. And I think it's just like, maybe he's also a people pleaser like us and he just feels like, like, why?
I mean, I also know that like some family that maybe the in-law and the husband or the wife are not getting along, but it's just also the person that you marry to, what the value do they see, or the importance of the family to them, if they're like, oh, we'll meet my parents like twice a year or like 3 times a year, then it's fine, whatever relationship you have, but for some family, like my family, that if once I moved out, I want to see them every weekend, so I'm like, I would want us to have you to have a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't mean you have to text them every day, send them reels or memes, but we can go out and have dinner together like once a month. And I don't expect you to join me in all weekends, but once a month, because it's not like, oh, you got my daughter and then you're just gonna like bye.
I wonder what it was like before they got married. Like when that whole
but this is what's the challenge, some true love. Maybe I'm not saying that they love the challenge, but it's one obstacle and you have to go through it together so you be able to like be together.
I mean, in a way it's like, maybe they come from like a racist family and then, it breaks that chain. Like the daughter and like their kids obviously won't be racist, at least to Asians. But
I don't know anyone ever that.
I wonder if they would change after they have kids, because how do you hate your grandkids?
Maybe it changed, but maybe they won't be, I don't know, but they seems very strong.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's still good that they still hang out with the daughter, rather than like cut her off because she's married an Asian.
Yeah.
Did they go to the wedding?
They didn't talk about the wedding at all, just that they're married. But the husband's definitely very sweet.
Yeah.
And it's nice that the wife stands by the husband.
Yeah.
I think from what I'm reading. But I just know that like when I started making like headway with your parents, like when I can tell that like, oh, your parents like me, it's like, it's a good feeling, like every time it's like, hey, like I'm planning, or my parents are planning this lunch or this trip and they like, hey, invite
Justin.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that's nice. It's a nice feeling. So I think I don't take it for granted, but it's just like it's become normal that like, oh, I have this like relationship with your parents. It's really nice. But I think that if I was on the other side and your parents were like didn't like me, and every time we go to a family event or like we go with them,
you feel bad.
I'd feel like uncomfortable or feel like more pressure to like, I think maybe I am like Alex, because I would feel pressure to like make them like me.
You will for sure. You're a people pleaser, so you will.
Yeah. So
and I think you will, and I think that it's just toxic. I think that's why the wife wanted him to move on.
Yeah.
Because maybe she see how upset he was or he is, and I mean, she knows her parents the best, so she knows that it wouldn't change their mind. So might just as well, like accept it and then we just move on with our lives.
I don't think she's the asshole. Obviously, she's not the asshole. I think maybe it's been
she do
a while.
For his own interest, honestly. Because she can't, I think she knows that she can't change her parents. So, maybe this is to set expectation for her.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to be blunt, be like, hey, this is like a battle we're not going to win. But also the nice thing is that my advice to them as a couple would just be like, in a way, like this can kind of make their bond stronger, you know, and learn that like, you know, not everyone is going to accept us, and this is something that's going to be very difficult, but at the same time, like no matter what, we're a team. And in a way that the negative pressure from the outside can kind of like cause them to be more like tight and stronger together, you know, as like a team, you know. Sometimes like adversity builds, you know, character, and like, you know, good for them as a couple. Yeah. So hopefully he doesn't take it too personally from his wife and just sees that like that this is just something that there's just a reality I need to accept, you know. But yeah, in-laws.
You look lovely today.
Thank you. You look lovely today too.
Same.
Okay, let's see some comments. If there are any updates. So the comment by Nakmed says, "I think neither one here is an asshole. Your family definitely, but not you or your husband. It is a really difficult situation, and it is perfectly understandable that you want to get away from it by distancing yourself from your family. At the same time, it's commendable of him that he wants for your family to accept your relationship, even if it seems impossible. I think in this situation, the best thing would be to support his decision and his actions, letting him know that you are on his side and that you don't need your family's approval at all. If your family cannot change, then he will surely understand this on his own, but it seems like you have to let him try at least." I mean, they've been married for a year, and probably dating before that, so I'm sure it's been a long time. So the next comment by OKProfession9372 says, "Not the asshole, it's your family, and you want to go no contact with them, which is the obvious and correct thing to do with a racist. Alex needs to respect that it's primarily your call, and that you've known them and how they are for much longer than he has. Frankly, most of the am I the assholes on this topic are the whiter partner saying, you just don't understand. That's just the way they are, etc. It's really refreshing that you are calling them out on being racist." Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, it seems like they got a lot of support, not the asshole, which is good. Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes there comes a point where you just need to be honest with your partner and tell them the truth. Like, hey. Yeah.
I am reading this person, the actual outcome poster.
This one? "Not the asshole. He needs to grow up and stop seeking approval from racists. He's leaving for days over this. Suggests he needs therapy to work through some underlying self-worth issues he's projecting onto this failed relationship with your parents." I think that's a little heavy.
Me too. I'm like, wow, he needs to grow up. I mean, it's very we don't understand him, you know, so we don't understand how much he values acceptance from the family, you know, and it's not just social acceptance, but this is your loved one families, and I think in Asian culture, you're like what you say, like two families also tied together. So I think, of course, I think he knows that how much families or parents are very important for the family itself, you know, grandparents and whatnot. So I think that it's very important for him. So that's why it's bothered him a lot. Yeah. But this is the first time that I heard anything about this. I don't think this is super hardcore racist, but it's quite sad to hear.
Yeah.
It's quite sad to hear. So, I don't think she's an asshole. Definitely not. She just look out for him, for his best interest. Yeah, but it's just hard for us to also fully get what he is going through, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's tough. I was messing with the recorders, and then I had something I wanted to say, but I forgot. But I think you summed it up well. Good job. Too many gadgets. I love gadgets. Okay. Oh yeah. So I think a lot of people like to rush and feel like whenever someone shows some kind of like negative like emotion. They're like, oh, he needs therapy and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, I think it's very normal to be upset and be disappointed, and maybe you need some time to some space, because maybe he doesn't want to be upset around his wife. Like, he knows that his wife isn't the problem, but at the same time, he's just in like a I just need to burn off this negative energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like like when I talk to people and they're sad or they're mad, I tell them feel it. If you're mad, be mad, feel that anger. If you're sad, it's okay to be sad, right? Like, I know a lot of people were like, I need to be happy again. I need to get rid of this sadness. Like, what can I do to like distract myself? Should I date again, or like should I start doing things like partying really hard to like just have fun? I need to have fun.
Just do it.
Just do it. But then it's like, sometimes we have these emotions for a reason. It's our body like processing maybe things that we don't. It's like subconsciously we need to process, and it's like, I think a lot of times these problems that manifest in the long run is because we don't allow ourselves to process.
I think we just need to go with the flow sometimes. Just allow yourself to feel the emotions and let it go through you. And there's also a process of it for grief, angry, disappointment. You just need to let it be. So you're at the end of the day, I think you'll be enlightened by it, and then like what is your next step or your next move to deal with it at the end.
Like, you need that static to like fade away so you can like think clearly again. Like, I know your mechanism sometimes is like, you're like, hey, I just need some space.
Or I just like to cry.
Yeah. Crying is good. I think it's good.
It just sort of release. That you release that either you go exercise or you release some tension, or just cry so you just let it out. I think it's just the form of let something out.
Like manifest it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big crier, but I remember like when you like those big cries, and then like it's like so big that like you need to take a nap after, and then you feel like so much better. You
done it before?
I don't know. I'm sure I used to cry a lot when I was younger. Like as a kid, like I would cry if I lost the basketball game. Like, not even like it's not even like high school or something. It was like, middle school.
Aww.
It was like not even like in a proper league or whatever. It was just like,
I wonder if it's just involved crying.
Yeah, you can ask my cousin. He used to bully me.
Which one?
Eben. I'm just kidding. Yeah, everyone knows this story. So, I mean, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think in the main gist of it, as the core family, I'm happy for Alex, and hopefully he came back and it just makes their bond stronger, which I think it will. I mean, Alex doesn't seem like a spiteful person.
I don't think so too.